Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're heading back, way back to 14th century Europe. Just try to picture it, a time when the Black Death was just devastating everything, wiping out huge numbers of people.
Yeah, unimaginable.
Exactly. And on top of that, you've got intense political struggles, corruption, just this pervasive sense of, well, instability. The whole world must have felt like it was cracking apart. So the question is, how do you possibly find any meaning or quiet depth or even just stable ground when everything around you is in chaos?
It's a big question.
It really is. And, well, amidst all that noise and fear, a voice emerged. But it wasn't loud or defiant. It was something quieter, deeper. We're talking about Johannes Tauler,
Right.
a German mystic. And the fascinating thing is, his teachings, almost, 700 years later, they still speak so clearly to many of us trying to deal with our own modern world, the anxiety, the distraction. He offers something really valuable.
And that's really our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? We want to unpack Tauler's life, get into his really transformative teachings, and explore why his ideas about interchange and connecting with God feel so relevant today.
Yeah.
I mean, our age feels pretty fragmented too, even with all our technology. Maybe because of it sometimes. And Tauler, his insights, they feel like a kind of shortcut, a way to get past the surface noise.
I like that idea of a shortcut. Okay, so let's establish who Tauler actually was. Born around 1300 in Strasbourg. He was a Dominican priest, but not just any priest. He was a big deal in this German mystical movement, the Friends of God. And crucially, he actually studied directly under the famous Meister Eckhart.
Which is huge. That lineage is so important.
Absolutely. So he didn't just inherit these deep ideas. He kind of refined them, made them practical, and talked about them in a way that ordinary folks could actually connect with.
Yeah, he brought it down to earth in a way.
Definitely. Now, let's spend another moment on that 14th century context, because it's easy to just say Black Death, but hard to really grasp the scale.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking maybe 30 to 60% of Europe's population wiped out. It's staggering.
Staggering. And think about the psychological impact. Widespread disillusionment. The institutions people trusted the church. The state, they seemed to be failing or fractured. Constant war, plague. It created this deep fear and instability.
It was more than just a bad patch. It was like an existential crisis for society. Yeah. People were face to face with mortality, the fragility of everything they knew.
Right.
And what stands out is Tauler's reaction. Maybe you'd expect a spiritual leader to retreat, lock themselves away, or double down on rigid rules.
Yeah, build higher walls.
Exactly. But Tauler did the opposite. He went into the cities, even the ones hit by plague. He was preaching directly to everyday people, merchants, artisans, regular folks living through this nightmare.
That took immense courage.
It really did. And his core message in that terrifying context wasn't about escaping the world. It was about cultivating something within. He called it an inner sanctuary.
An inner sanctuary. I like that phrase.
Yeah, like a sacred space inside yourself that no external chaos, no matter how bad, could actually touch or destroy. You can immediately see how that speaks to us today, right? Looking for that stable place inside.
Absolutely. That idea of an inner sanctuary, especially when the outside world feels so loud and overwhelming, it really hits home. So how did he say people could actually, build that sanctuary? What were the steps, the pathways he offered?
Right. Okay, so this gets us into the real core, the sort of nuggets of knowledge from Tauler.
Yeah.
And maybe the foundation for everything else is this concept of Gelassenheit.
Gelassenheit, inner detachment.
Yeah, but detachment almost sounds too passive in English. Gelassenheit is deeper. It's more like a profound letting go or letting be.
Yeah.
A kind of active surrender or serenity.
Okay, active surrender, so not apathy.
Not at all. It's about releasing the ego's grip. Our constant need to control, our self-will, our attachment to specific outcomes. We're always pushed to grab harder, achieve more. Gelassenheit says maybe true strength lies in letting go, in releasing ourselves into something bigger. Think about all the energy we waste trying to force things. Tauler suggests turning that energy inward.
To find stability regardless of the outcome.
Exactly. That's the real shortcut to freedom he was talking about.
So it's not about giving up hope, but surrendering the demand for a specific result. That's interesting. And for Tauler, this was key to spiritual freedom.
Absolutely key.
He believed that true peace comes when the soul can just rest in God without clinging to its own little plans or desires. It's like Choosing to release your white-knuckle grip, trusting that letting go actually makes you more open.
Precisely. It's a shift in focus from manipulating the outer world to cultivating the inner state.
Yeah.
A huge shift, especially when things outside are truly out of your control.
Which they often are.
Which they often are. And this flows right into another really central idea, something he got from Eckhart but made his own. The birth of God in the soul.
Okay, the birth of God in the soul. What did he mean by that?
Well, he taught that the human soul could actually experience directly a kind of spiritual birth, God being born within you. It wasn't just thinking about God or believing in God.
But an actual inner event.
Yes, an experiential reality, a deep, transformative encounter that basically reorients your whole life. It's like recognizing this divine spark that's already inside, waiting to be kind of fanned into flame.
And the result of this birth, what changes?
According to Tauler, it leads to this profound inner transformation. It reshapes your whole consciousness. It's not God forcing himself on you from outside, but this internal revelation changing everything from the inside out.
Like seeing the world and yourself completely differently.
Exactly. It's that ultimate aha moment, realizing the deepest truth isn't out there somewhere, but right here, deep inside you.
Okay, this next point is where Tauler really stands out for me. Because lots of mystics, they went off to monasteries, sought seclusion.
Right, the hermit path or the cloistered life.
Yeah. But Tauler championed what he called a devout life in the world. He wasn't telling people, leave your jobs, leave your families. Quite the opposite.
He was saying, bring your deepest spiritual practice into your everyday life, into the messy, mundane, busy reality of it.
Which makes it so much more accessible, doesn't it?
Incredibly practical. And what it looked like was, well, being genuinely compassionate with people, being patient when things are frustrating, which they always are, practicing humility.
While still doing your job, raising your kids, living your life.
Exactly. Whether you were a baker or a merchant or a parent, it wasn't about adding more stuff to do, but changing how you do what you're already doing, finding the sacred in the ordinary.
Finding depth right where you are.
Precisely. And then there's his view on suffering, which was, well, pretty radical for the time.
Yeah, because back then, suffering was often seen as, what, God's punishment.
Pretty much. Or just something awful to be endured or avoided, if possible. But Tauler reframed it completely. He saw suffering not as punishment, but as a refining fire.
A refining fire. Wow, that changes how you look at hardship, doesn't it?
Totally. It flips it from being just a negative thing, a roadblock, into maybe a crucible.
Yeah.
An opportunity for growth, for purification.
So he wasn't saying, go look for pain.
No, definitely not. But when suffering comes, and it does come, you can see it differently.
Yeah.
As a chance to surrender more deeply to God's will, maybe. To let go of your resistance to what is.
And find a peace that isn't dependent on everything going smoothly outside.
Exactly. It's not about enjoying pain. It's about letting it strip away the superficial stuff, the attachments, so you can connect with something deeper, more resilient within yourself. Leaning into the discomfort almost.
That's a challenging idea, but also potentially very empowering. Okay, so we've covered quite a bit. The chaotic times, this idea of Gelassenheit or inner detachment, the birth of God in the soul, practical spirituality in the world, and this reframing of suffering. Let's pull it all together now. Why does this 14th century mystic still matter so much? Why do his ideas feel so, well, timeless, especially in what we call our age of distraction?
I think the core insight is just incredibly potent today. Tauler's central point, really, is that genuine lasting peace doesn't come from trying to control the external world.
Which is what we spend so much energy doing.
Right, trying to fix everything outside, chase external goals, get validation.
Yeah.
And maybe we find temporary relief, but it doesn't last.
No.
Tauler says, no, the real work, the lasting peace, comes from diligently cultivating that inner stillness, that quiet center, rooted in something divine, something unshakable, no matter what's happening around you.
That's the crucial so what, isn't it, for anyone feeling overwhelmed by modern life?
Absolutely. It's this radical call to shift our focus. Less external manipulation, more internal cultivation, recognizing that the deepest stability isn't out there, it's in here.
That really is the enduring power of his message. Johannes Tauler inviting us not just to skim the surface of life, the emails, the notifications, the constant doing, but to live from that deeper core, where he believed that that divine presence speaks in the silence of our soul. It's just an invitation to a richer, more grounded way of being, one that actually equips us to handle the external stuff better.
Well said. And maybe as we finish up this deep dive on Tauler, we can leave you, our listener, with a question to mull over.
Yeah.
Thinking about everything we've discussed, which of Tauler's teachings really speaks to you the most right now? Is it that inner sanctuary, the challenge of Gelassenheit, finding the devout life in your everyday world, or maybe his view on suffering? Just consider, why does that particular idea resonate? And how might that piece of ancient wisdom offer something valuable for your own life, right here, right now, something to maybe carry with you?